So what do you find? I think like from reading a site, you started dating back to 700,000 BC.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is when there's all hominids were walking the earth. I mean, even Lucy, the famous Lucy of Dr. Leakey, his skeletons that he calls Lucy, she was a hominid. There was hominids all over the planet then. And something happened somewhere. It happened twice, and a lot of people don't know that. We're the Homo sapien race, but there was a Homo sapien race before us. Something happened about 300,000, and I don't know the exact dates. I'm just guessing here, but about 300,000, our brains exploded in size 50%, just overnight. Nature doesn't work that way, and I wanted to know. And when I got in and dug into the ancient texts about Atlantis, aliens came up.
Yeah.
And Michael Tellinger's book, Slave Species of the Gods, his book goes into this about the creation of man, humans, and what happened. Why was it? And if you get into the Sumerian text, well, all texts worldwide, it doesn't matter if they're Chinese, doesn't matter if they're Egyptian, Gaelic, Native American, there's one common thing with the myths. The gods always fight. There's nonstop conflict between the gods. They have a creation myth, the gods fight, and what's going on here. So I found that if you look into the Sumerian text and even the Irish Gaelic text, they talk about aliens coming here looking for gold.
Yeah.
And we as a human race, what do we love? We love gold. Well, now the younger generations love Bitcoin, but gold has been there ever since man, the history of man, from the beginning. And these texts explain why they were here. And it said something about their atmosphere. They needed it for their atmosphere. And studying NASA and all this stuff, they use gold in their glass for the rockets. They use it for oil, as oil, because oil will just freeze in outer space. So you have to have something that's not going to freeze. So they use liquid gold. And so then come to find out, a lot of the skyscrapers put gold in the glass too. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, is this what the ancient texts are trying to say, that they needed it for their atmosphere? Did they have a dome, some sort, that they needed to have this gold to keep? Because what this glass does in like skyscrapers and stuff is keeps the heat out, keeps the cool in during the summer, and then keeps the warm in and the cold out during the winter. And I was, well, okay, is this what the ancient texts are trying to tell us? They needed this for their atmosphere. And when I found out that there was the asteroid belt was actually a planet called Tiamat at one time, and it was a watery planet. The ancient text knew it as the second sun. It was at least 4 or 5 times the size of Jupiter. So it looked like 2 suns in the sky at times. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Star Wars or Luke Skywalker's looking at the 2 suns setting. And I'm like, okay, yeah. They looked at these ancient texts. They saw what's going on.
Yeah.
So a lot of researchers like Michael Tessarian, he has a book called Atlantis, Alien Genetic Intervention. That book you'll be like, wow, okay, what's going on? Genetic manipulation and alien intervention. That's his book. And he thinks that they were doing something on Tiamat, but I think that was their home. I think that they lived in this solar system, these aliens, and that was their home. And they needed to mine the other planets in the solar system to get gold if they had like a glass city underwater. That's all my speculation. I have not seen anything in the text, but that's my theory. So they came here and they started digging. And if you look all over the world, there's mines everywhere, ancient mines that they're like, okay, how did this happen? And I went to Mammoth Cave here in America. And the story there is that water did this over millions and millions of years. And you can see in parts of these caves that, yeah, water probably did it because they're smooth. But when I'm walking through these caves, I'm looking going, something removed the earth. This was not done by water. These sides are not smooth. The Native American, their legends will tell you, yeah, these were here. We just used them as walkways and everything to get from one place to another a lot of times. a lot of transportation method. They used it for shelter too. So the gods were here. That's what I call them the gods, these aliens. They were here mining for gold and other precious metals, and they got tired. It was hard work. It was a lot of hard work. So they decided they were going to create a race to do the work for them.